The richest entrepreneur in Dubai is not Arab? This irony seems to have become reality, because for some time now, in one of the most luxurious places in all of Dubai, lives one of the most visionary billionaire men in the world. He has surpassed even Arab investors, becoming the owner of one of the most lucrative companies in the world. And he's not even 40 years old. His business skills have made him a reference of success across all continents, also positioning him above many tycoons who seek to invest in technology and social networks in exchange for fame and fortune. But he doesn't believe in those limitations. He goes beyond expectations. And that's why his forays into the digital world add large amounts of money to his wealth. His business exploits have expanded to much of the world, and he has no plans of stopping. Pavel Durov has become a man of accomplishment. But how did he manage to become a billionaire in the Arab territory? This all started a few years ago when his expectations about the technological world did not coincide with the Russian government. This was one of the main reasons why he decided to escape from Russia. In fact, his stay in that country was starting to become more and more tense, and over time, he became a target of the government. This prompted him to make one of the most important decisions of his life. He let everyone know what he wanted to do with his business, and he cut ties with the Russian government, with whom his disagreements were quite public. So, did this tactic work? Well, it seems that it did, because together with his brother, they began living a nomadic life, bouncing from country to country, eventually obtaining citizenship of St. Kitts and Nevis. But the businessman preferred to settle in the United Arab Emirates. Currently, Pavel has a net worth of more than $15.1 billion. He's the founder of the social network VK and the messaging application Telegram. His innovative and idealistic character has catapulted him into the technology and social networking niche, even being compared to the creator of Facebook and adopting the nickname the Russian Mark Zuckerberg. But where was he before all of this? He was born on October 10, 1984, in the city of Leningrad. However, his early years were spent in the Italian city of Turin, where his family had moved due to the work of his father, Valery Durov. He eventually returned to his hometown of Leningrad with his mother, Albina, and his brother, Nikolai. Durov was always interested in mathematics and computer science. In fact, when he wasn't quite 11 years old, he had already written his first codes in programming. Over the years, he also studied English, and when he grew up, he entered the Russian government's military program, where he graduated with honors. During college, he had already created small websites, but he still wanted more. Something inside him told him that he had to continue innovating. So one of his classmates, who was in the United States, told him about Facebook. That was when Durov created the Russian analog VKontakte, or VK. And in the following years, it became a social phenomenon with more than $20 million of investments from some of the most important funds in the country. VK was a success, and he had become a millionaire before he was 30 years old. No one knows exactly what his passions are for investing his money, and with such an extensive fortune, his options are almost limitless. However, we do know he has a passion for skydiving and art, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the two. But not everything has been wonderful for Durov. In 2012, he had a disagreement with the Russian government on how the networks and online businesses were handled. So what is known around the world as Durov escaping from Russia was actually a self-exile. However, the Russian government accuses him of not collaborating. So the situation is becoming increasingly tense. Durov supported the broadcasting of videos opposing the Russian government. As a result, the businessman has been denied access to data of users of his apps by the regime. It was then when problems arose with VK. Mail.ru, one of Russia's internet giants, invested in VK and began to monitor the platform. But things got even more complicated for Durov when he was accused of running over the foot of a traffic policeman. Durov claimed he didn't know how to drive, but nonetheless, police stormed his headquarters, a move that was shocking to everyone. Durov disappeared for several months, and to this day, no one really knows what happened. But after the incident, he sold 12% shareholding. Despite the big sell-off, he continued to remain as CEO of the company. But Durov had no time to lose, so he decided that privacy of conversations was the most important thing for a platform. And that is how Telegram was born. Durov refers to Telegram as the best alternative, and today, the app has 500 million users and is valued at more than $30 billion. But this entrepreneur has not only become popular for being fearless, but his physical attractiveness has also landed him in several magazines around the world, and of course, has grabbed the attention of hundreds of thousands of users around the globe. The question of whether he has time for love has also become recurrent, and for a while he has been one of the most sought-after bachelors in the world. He was married to Daria Bondarenko, whom he met in college. However, this didn't work out, and the marriage dissolved. It was rumored that he was romantically involved with other young women, but the reason for the dissolution was never made official. His personal life is something very private for him, and he tries to be as hermetic as possible about it, unlike his popular opinions on issues of international importance. This unleashes a wave of theories about who he really is and if there is someone important in his life in the love sphere. However, he prefers not to talk about it. Instead, he concentrates on his companies. The reputation of heartthrob even reaches his followers on social networks, who make thousands of comments on the shirtless photos that Durov often uploads, parodying the traditions in Russia. From joking phrases about the government to publicly declaring himself against his own country's decisions, Durov is not afraid to speak his mind. And speaking of his mind, some have even considered him to be one of the greatest minds of all time. He's seen as an idealist about how technology companies should work and where most millionaires should invest. But this is nothing for the tech giant, who claims that he doesn't like to settle down in a billionaire life. In fact, he doesn't have his own car, a luxurious house, or even a pre-established place, except for the offices of his companies that he established in the city of Dubai in 2017. According to some sources, Durov has such an iconic character that his offices are not even identified. There isn't even a plaque on the door identifying the place as such. He also likes to keep secret how many employees the platform has. Durov says that he likes to keep the mystery about the success of his apps. However, there may be much more behind all of this, due to the great boom and growth that Telegram has had in the last 2 years. Could it be that he has climbed up to the Emirates elite? Perhaps. According to what is known, he settled in Dubai, where he doesn't pay taxes and gets along well with the Crown Prince. Just as he has chosen to be secretive about some parts of his main life, he is said to have 2 children, whose mother is unknown. He has rarely been asked about it and has never given details. But what we do know about Durov is that he has now chosen to wage a technological battle against WhatsApp for the safety of its users. He cited a security issue disclosed by WhatsApp last week that allowed a hacker to hijack a phone through a video, message, or sticker. Durov says WhatsApp will never be secure unless fundamental changes are made to how it works. Are we looking at the world's next technological revolutionary? For some people, this man is considered an idol, but we will have to wait to witness his next move. Do you think Telegram will manage to surpass the rest of the tech apps? Could Durov become the visionary of the future? Leave it in the comments. And continue watching to find out why Muley Hassan refused to be kissed.